All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Today is Friday. Today we're going to be going over our exam review to prepare us for the midterm exam next week. Let's go ahead and pull up our course here. So obviously we've covered chapters 1 through 6 now, with the last one being developing new products and services. So as we can see here, next week, midterm exam and project updates. Once again, I want to remind everyone the midterm will be next Wednesday in class, room 207 in Mahood Hall, the W. Paul Cole School of Business. I'm sure everyone knows where it's at, but just in case you don't, that's where we're at. It will be at 8 a.m. from 8 to 8:50. Um, the format of the exam is going to be 25 questions at 4 points each. So it's 25 short answers. So no multiple choice, no essay, no true false, anything. So it's either you know it or you don't. So, um, but with that being said, we're going to go through, and I'm going to tell you where to focus your efforts on studying for it, since it is no multiple choice and it's all just open-ended questions. Um, so we're going to go ahead and just start off with chapter 1, and I will say that the best source to study for this exam is going to be directly off the PowerPoint slides. So, starting in chapter 1, everyone needs to be able to tell me what marketing is. So, be able to define marketing. So, once again, from chapter 1, be able to define marketing. Next, what are the 7 steps in the marketing process? And for this, you just need to tell me exactly what they are. I don't need no explanation. I just want to know that you know what the 7 steps are in the marketing process. So, once again, what are the 7 steps in the marketing process? I also need everyone to be able to tell me what the 5 P's of product-based ventures are. And once again, I just need them listed. You don't need to go into any explanation, just list them. I want to just know that you know what the 5 P's of product-based ventures are. I also want everyone to know what the 8 P's of service-based ventures are. So be able to tell me what the 8 P's of service-based ventures are. Be able to differentiate between market fulfillment and market creation. So once again, be able to differentiate between market fulfillment and market creation. And lastly, the last thing to be concerned with from chapter 1, be able to list the 5 forces in the entrepreneurial marketing environment. And once again, I just need you to list them. You don't need to go into any explanation of what they are. Just be able to tell me what the 5 forces in the entrepreneurial marketing environment are. So is everyone okay with chapter 1? Do I need to repeat anything? Everything good? Okay. So next, chapter 2. Be able to tell me what the 3 views of entrepreneurial opportunities are. So know what the 3 views of entrepreneurial opportunities are. Be able to tell me what are some important characteristics that an entrepreneur should consider when evaluating marketing opportunities. So once again, what are some important characteristics that an entrepreneur should consider when evaluating marketing opportunities? Okay, next. Say an entrepreneur has some valuable intellectual property. How can he or she go about protecting it? So once again, if aspiring entrepreneur has valuable intellectual property, then how can he or she go about protecting it? Okay, and the last thing from chapter 2, be able to tell me what a business model is. So what is a business model? So is everyone okay with chapter 2 content? Okay, next, chapter 3. Okay, successful entrepreneurs tend to be the most informed on what topics? So once again, from chapter 3, the most successful entrepreneurs tend to be the most informed on what topics? And just as a little hint, this slide right here is what I'm talking about because it's kind of a vague question, just so everyone kind of has an idea of where I'm pulling it. I know it says it verbatim here, but just so it's like, oh, that's kind of a trick question. Here's a hint as to what I'm talking about. So, so once again, that's the most successful entrepreneurs tend to be the most informed on what topics. Um, Next, be able to define marketing research. So be able to tell me what marketing research is, or in other words, just be able to define marketing research. Okay, next, be able to list and describe the two different types of data that are used in marketing research. So once again, be able to list and describe the two types of data that are used in marketing research. Okay, next. Am I moving too fast? You okay? Okay. Um, so be able to tell me what sampling is, so know what sampling is. So be able to tell me what sampling is. Also be able to tell me about the two different methods of sampling. If you recall, we talked about two different types of sampling. So just be able to tell me a little bit about those two different methods of sampling. And then for the last part of this question, also tell me which one of these methods is preferred. So which one of these methods is preferred? So once again, for this one, it's be able to tell me what sampling is, be able to list and describe the two different methods of sampling, and then out of these two sampling methods, which one of them is preferred. So that's it for chapter 3 content. Any questions or anyone need anything repeated on that part? Okay. Next chapter, chapter 4. Be able to tell me what the 5 stages of the purchase decision process is. I hate saying that. I don't know what it is. I feel like it's gets twisted. I don't know why I have to kind of like I walk into the room, and other times I can just take 2 steps to get the lights to come back on. Okay, so once again, from chapter 4, first part of it, be able to tell me what the 5 stages of the purchase decision process is. It is. I don't know what it is. Maybe some people have no problem saying it, but I obviously do. So the 5 stages of the purchase decision process. I don't know why I keep saying it. Next, be able to tell me some of the similarities and differences between B2C and B2B, which obviously means business to consumer or business to business. So once again, be able to tell me what some of the similarities and differences are between B2C and B2B. So once again, the similarities and differences in B2C and B2B. Okay, next. Um, One of the most important aspects of your planning process is to thoroughly understand your blank and your blank. So this is a fill in the blank one here. So um, one of the most important aspects of your planning process is to thoroughly understand your blank and your blank.
Most important aspects
Of your planning process is to thoroughly understand your blank and your blank. So once again, one of the most important aspects of your planning process is to thoroughly understand your blank and blank. And that's all from chapter 4. Anyone need anything repeated on chapter 4? Okay, next chapter, chapter 5. So be able to tell me what the idea of segmentation is based on. So tell me what premise the idea of segmentation is based on. So once again, the idea of segmentation is based on the premise that finish the sentence pretty much. Next from chapter 5, be able to tell me what market segmentation is. So be able to tell me what market segmentation is. Okay, next, what are the 4 ways in which an entrepreneur can segment markets? So once again, what are the 4 ways in which an entrepreneur can segment markets? And here's a little tip right here. So just a little tip. So know the 4 ways an entrepreneur can segment markets. Next, be able to tell me the differences between undifferentiated marketing, differentiated marketing, and concentrated marketing. And on this, I don't need like any book written. Obviously, we only have 50 minutes for this exam. It's meant to be short answered. Get to the point. Tell me that you know what the difference is between them. So once again, what is the difference between undifferentiated marketing, differentiated marketing, and concentrated marketing? And with saying that, don't be too vague. Make sure you get your point across, but you don't have to, you don't have to break the bank with the answer either. Just tell me what the differences are between them, and we're cool. So once again, be able to tell me what the difference is between undifferentiated marketing, differentiated marketing, and concentrated marketing. And that's everything from chapter 5. Does anyone need anything repeated on that, or are we okay on that? Okay, next, the last chapter, chapter 6. Be able to tell me the difference between continuous innovations, dynamically continuous innovations, and discontinuous innovations. And also, I need you to give an example of each of these. Same thing on this one, just like we were talking on the other one. You don't have to break the bank on this answer. Just tell me that you know the main difference between these, and give me just a really short, like one or two word response for an example of each of them. So once again, what's the difference between continuous innovations dynamically continuous innovations, and discontinuous innovations. And once again, give an example of each. And an example of one of these, like, could be like for continuous innovations. Remember, we said it could be something as simple as a new flavor of Kool-Aid. Just it's continuously changing, but it's not much thought into it and stuff like that. So that's what we're talking about as far as examples go. So once again, know the difference between continuous innovations, dynamically continuous innovations, and discontinuous innovations, and be able to give an example of each of them. Good. Um, Next, be able to tell me what the 6 stages of the new product service process are. So once again, know the 6 stages of the new product service process. Next, know the 5 categories of adopters of new products and services. So once again, know the 5 categories of adopters of new products and services. And with that, we're talking about the laggards and the innovators and stuff of that sort. And once again, just tell me what they are. I don't need any explanation on it. If you can tell me what they are, well, cool. That's good enough for me. So once again, the 5 categories of adopters of new products and services. Okay, and the last thing here, be able to list the 4 stages in the product service life cycle. So once again, be able to list the 4 stages in the product service life cycle. And that's it for chapter 6. And also, obviously, that wraps up the exam preparation or the exam review for next Wednesday. Any questions on anything we went over?
I don't think so.
Everything straightforward?
I think I got a pretty good handle of it.
Okay. And like I said, I know it's still going to be a hard test, even though you really know where to focus your efforts. Once again, I want to point out, if it were I would focus all my effort on the PowerPoints when I study this. Everything you need is going to be directly from that. If you put your time in, there shouldn't be any issues with this exam. I know it's still a lot of content to know, but I think if you've been doing your work in the class and been keeping up with everything, then with this type of a review, it shouldn't be too bad of an exam. So once again, the midterm exam is going to be 25 questions. They're each worth 4 points. You can get partial credit on them. So obviously total points is worth 100. And I do want to say that this does count as 25% of the overall grade, the midterm does. So everyone, please put the time in and study for it. If there's any questions or concerns about anything, please let me know. Once again, this is a hybrid class, so those that have not been coming to class must come to class to take this exam on Wednesday. So make arrangements and do what you have to do to make it happen. So with that being said, that's it for the review. So that wraps up this week. Monday for class, we're going to have a lab day, and it's going to be used for your discretion. So you can study for the midterm that's on Wednesday. You can work on your entrepreneurial marketing plans. You can work on your entrepreneurial exercises. So it's really the ball's in your court what you want to do with Monday. But we will be in the lab on the 3rd floor. So if anyone comes to class Monday, just know that we will not be in 207. We'll be on the 3rd floor in the lab. And once again, that is used to study or work on any of the homework that you have for this class or ask questions. So once again, lab day Monday, exam Wednesday. And if you have any questions or concerns, just please let me know. I'm available. So everyone have a good day and a good weekend, and good luck studying for your midterm.